Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Merlin. Excuse me. Last time on Merlin, we started off Series 2 with The Curse of Cornelius Segan. Underneath Camelot, the digging dudes were doing some digging when they found the tomb of Cornelius Segan. And when they found it, they were all scared because one guy died because of a booby trap, and it caught the attention of a bandit, I guess, called Cedric, who literally wormed his way into Camelot and took over Merlin's position so that he could get the keys from Arthur to go down into the vault into the tomb and take the jewels of Cornelius Segan. However, he also accidentally was possessed by Cornelius Segan, and thus Cornelius Segan reigned terror on Camelot until Merlin was able to stop him. However, the only way Merlin was able to stop Cornelius Segan was to go to the dragon to get knowledge, new knowledge. But this knowledge came at a price, because at some point the dragon is going to demand to be freed. And Merlin, I guess, is going to have to take him up on the offer, or on the favor, basically. So, yeah. That's basically that. This is where I say no spoilers, just don't. Also, this is where I say that because of copyright issues, the reaction portion of this video cannot be put in this video. If you want to watch my highlight reaction with the footage in the corner, it's all nice and edited, you can go down in the description or to the pinned comment. There's a link. You can go there and watch my reaction to this episode of Merlin, and when you're done with that, you can pop right back over here for the discussion. So, with that being said, how about we get started, huh? Let's go. Okay. They can keep a secret, right? Yeah, they can keep a secret. They can still have a relationship. Cause I mean, that's the thing is, they had to bring up Uther. Fucking Uther. Because of course he would. Of course Uther would be like, oh, well, friggin', you're not gonna date a servant. Because Uther's a dick, damn it. Ugh. The whole episode that lasted. Okay. Yeah, that was a good episode. I enjoyed it. I feel like I need to keep my arms a bit more inward, otherwise I just look like a fat ass mountain. That's better. I mean, I'm still large, but not taking up so much of the screen. Okay, that was an interesting episode. We kind of had like 3 different plots going on. There was the plot of Arthur trying to, prove himself, truly prove himself. And then we had the assassin plot, and then we had the Arthur Guinevere plot. And then we also had, Merlin's workload. Yeah. But that was fun. Alright, let's just get into the notes. It is a little late, as you can probably tell by the fact that the window is completely dark, and normally it's not. Although, no, I've been recording on Thursday nights, but yeah. It is late, so let's just go ahead and sort of power through these notes. So the first thing I wrote down was treatment. So, interesting thing, Arthur doesn't really care for, he doesn't like, when he's given specialties, I guess. Oh, excuse me. he doesn't like that, he's being treated differently among his knights, which is definitely an interesting idea. You know, sometimes he doesn't want to be treated as a prince. The problem is, subconsciously, he does always want to be treated like a prince, but not during training and stuff. During jousting and, you know, training and combat, he just wants to be treated as a fellow warrior among the other knights. Now, that's an interesting concept because, you know, with the whole, oh, well, are you guys just letting me win? It's like, well, not all the time. It's like, because that's the interesting thing. It's like, no, you are still the best in Camelot, you know? You are still the greatest knight in Camelot right now. But there are the occasional instances where they do let him win. You know, like there, he was at the beginning when, you know, that guy clearly had an open shot, but he didn't take it. And I get it. I understand why they treat him that way, and I understand why Arthur doesn't like it, so that's interesting. I also wrote down specifically training, like, you know, he wants to fight them. He does want to fight them at their best. He doesn't want them to hold back. He wants to see, you know, he wants to see how good he is compared to his other knights. If he wins, it's because he is that good, you know? He wants to earn his victories, which is pretty cool. I wrote down undercover boss. Yeah, so Arthur went undercover as a commoner and chilled out with Guinevere. Excuse me. Yeah, so he did pretty much go undercover, stayed with Guinevere for a while, and entered the tournament secretly. And that's why they got the guy. They got the guy to play Sir William, and then, you know, he was the face of Sir William while Arthur was the actual person fighting, because he actually wanted to see how good he was compared to the other knights. Interesting concept, I will say. It does kind of work. I'm trying to think of, like, if that has ever been, like, I'm trying to think, like, what other, like, piece of fiction I would have seen something like that. I'm like running through everything. I can't quite piece it together. It reminds me of something, but, you know, I feel like I have seen somewhat, you know, this plot before, but it definitely works here. Oh my God. I don't think this is what I was thinking of specifically, but this is something I did think about. There was an episode of Ed, Edd n Eddy, one of the later episodes of Ed, Edd n Eddy, where, you know, they were all at school. So this had to have been like season 5, where Eddie actually disguised himself as various new students and then hung out with all the kids that normally hated him. And it was just funny to watch. And with like each one that ended up like failing, like they all started to they all turned on him and stuff. Well, mostly because Double D was secretly turning them against him. So maybe that's kind of like this. That's an interesting reference. Oh, I wonder when that would have come out. Because this is 2009? Well, Ed, Edd n Eddy was over by 2009, so yeah, Ed, Edd n Eddy would have come first, but that's clearly not, that's not really what they're going for here, and I don't know why I can't think of another example of that, you know, kind of going undercover with a new identity like this, you know, amongst your people and stuff, basically. I can't, for the life of me, I can't think of what that would actually be, but yeah, so there's a funny little reference for you guys. And I know I said, I gotta keep my arms closed so I don't look like a fat blob, but this is comfy, actually. I don't know. I'm in a relaxed position. I don't know. And fuck it, I am a large man, so it's not like that's shocking news to anyone. Yeah, let's not talk about that. So yeah, Arthur goes undercover. Interesting concept, and staying with Guinevere, that is pretty cool. See, at first when they were doing the whole thing of there's a beast that we have to go deal with, I was kind of thinking he was gonna go to another village. He was just gonna go to a village and pass off as a peasant and see what it was like. But they ended up going with this, which makes way more sense, honestly. So when he was at Guinevere's house, he still wasn't the commoner Sir William. He was still the prince in there, which was interesting. So yeah, I wrote down the assassin, Myror. That was an interesting concept. Now, I will say, did we ever see Odin's son that Arthur killed? I don't remember. I don't remember if we did. You guys might have to fill me in the comments if we ever did, because I was kind of thinking like, and because this was another tournament episode, I was actually kind of thinking like, what if his son was Knight Valiant from last season in episode 2 when we had another tournament, which I kind of hope this is a recurring thing with Merlin, is that every episode 2 of the season is another tournament. That would actually be kind of fun, but yeah, I was kind of thinking like, oh, well, what if it was Knight Valiant? And it's like, well, he did kill Knight Valiant, but there was something like, someone challenged Arthur, and Arthur had no quarrel with him, and he was going, I guess he wanted to fight him to a draw, but he just ended up killing him, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember that from last season. So I don't know. If that was something we saw last season, you guys may have to fill me in the comments. So yeah. But we got the assassin. Kind of weak for an assassin. Like, he wasn't that great of an assassin. He got caught that one time. He wasn't really stealthy. He's just kind of there, honestly. Excuse me. He wasn't the greatest assassin in fiction, So, I don't know. He was okay. He served his purpose, He served his purpose, but for, this assassin, this legendary assassin that they were talking about, I kind of expected more, honestly, but that was alright. So yeah, so we had Myror, he was alright. The whole thing about him actually entering the tournament at the end, that does, obviously, that's great for a show like this, for an exciting show like this, but it's like, no assassin would actually do that, So I kind of thought that was a little funny. It's like, this would not happen, actually. But whatever. And yeah, we kind of talked about the tournament, which was kind of interesting. Arthur going in undercover in this tournament. Interesting concept. And hey, for the most part, we do know that, yeah, he is better than them. He deserves any victory he has over them because he is better. Like the one guy, he said, well, he didn't let me win that one. But we don't know. I mean, that's the thing. We don't know if he would have actually won the tournament at the end because we didn't get to fight the final guy. We had to joust with the assassin who was cheating and had a blade that punctured Arthur, and then Merlin had to help out and assist. So yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know, and I get what they were going with. But okay. But the big thing of this episode, the whole reason for the title, because when we got this title and then the episode started, and it's like, what's the point of the title? But I understand now. We had all the scenes between Arthur and Gwen, which were interesting. we had kind of... I mean, season 1, we got some scenes between the two of them, but, they were just starting to, take note of each other, basically. And so now, finally, we're getting somewhere with that. We're getting somewhere with the two of them, which is pretty cool, actually. And I will say, I understand the whole thing of, oh, well, Arthur, he's so rude, he just presumes that that bed is his bed. He didn't ask and stuff like that. It's like, why did she only have one bed? She only had one bed ready. You're going to be taking Arthur. I don't know, put down something. That's the thing, is when she just got on the floor, it's like, well, girl, where was the bed you were going to give him? Go sleep in that? What are you doing? It's like, what, did she really, invite him into her home and then had no plans of where he was actually going to sleep? I get it. I understand what they were going for with that. But that is one of those things where it's just like, really? I don't know, man. I don't know. And yeah, so... And then finally, we get Gwen telling him off and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, man, we're finally going to get a moment of humility. He's going to cook dinner. Nope. Dude doesn't know the slightest thing about cooking. Which, okay, that is one thing. If he doesn't know about cooking, that's one thing. It's another thing to have Merlin just go get some food from the palace, And the two of them are so fucking stupid that they didn't think to switch out the fucking plates. Of course she would figure out the plates. Of course she would figure out that those aren't her plates. Everything in that house belongs to her. Of course she knows which plates are hers and which ones aren't. Oh, man. I kind of thought at the very least, when Merlin came in and was like, so you're cooking? I thought at least Arthur was going to be like, I don't know what I'm doing, help! And then the two of them would try to cook. And then, Guinevere would come back and then see, it's like, and I guess, Arthur would be like, oh, yeah, well, I had, Merlin's helping with a few things, but for the most part, I'm doing it. And then Merlin would be like, this guy sucks at cooking, I kicked him out, I'm doing the rest of the cooking for him. Or something like that. That could have been funny, but no, they went the dick route, which I understand why they did that. It was, Arthur, why do you do this? Why can you not just have good moments with these cute girls? You keep being a dick to Morgana and a dick to Guinevere. But we did actually get some good moments. When they were actually eating, it was, good and funny, they were laughing and having a good time. And then, it's before the tournament was good too. So it wasn't all but they had some good moments. I know I keep leaning back in my chair like an idiot, but they had their good moments, and I understand why. I understand how they built up to the kiss. One of these rocks moved, and I'm scared this is all gonna fall apart. Oh, that's one of the central rocks that's actually doing something. Oh no, I don't need these to fall down. I will say I like that he went in for the kiss and not her. It's like, yeah, he is falling for her. And yes, she is starting to fall for him, but he's a little bit more in there, After everything that's happened, it's like he is a bit more I don't know. I just like that little detail that he actually went in for the kiss first. Because otherwise, if Gwen went in for the kiss, that would just be like, you have been complaining about him for so long, but it's like, oh no, but you still, I guess, are in love with him. I don't know. Where the fuck is Lancelot? I guess if they're building up their relationship, he's gonna have to come back at some point. I like that Merlin had a huge workload throughout the whole thing. That was funny. I did like that. Yeah, that was funny. And him venting about it and stuff. And I like, too, that he had, at the end, he did have to, clean the leech tank. Because he lied about the assassin. That was funny. From the beginning, it's like, man, Merlin has to do 2 jobs. He has to work for Gaius and also be, a servant to Arthur. It's like, he's got too much on his plate, man. And then we talked about the finals already with, how... I understand what they were doing with... I get why they had it be the assassin versus Arthur at the end, but I don't know. Now he doesn't really know if... He doesn't really know if he is the best. Well, maybe he doesn't care at this point. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I got a hot chick. That's a great way of phrasing it. And then no reveal. That makes sense. I'm glad that they didn't do the reveal, because that was going to be really awkward if they did that. But yeah, he is getting an actual moment of humility, and he didn't reveal himself. So that was good. And then at the end, the whole thing of, oh, well, my father wouldn't understand. It's like, oh, fucking course he wouldn't. It's like, God damn it, Uther. It's like, of course the king would not understand the prince falling in love with a servant. But maybe they'll get better. They can have a secret relationship. They can make it work. Look, if Merlin can hide his magical powers from literally everyone except Gaius, then they can hide a relationship from everyone except maybe Merlin. Merlin would probably be alright with it. He's like, you know what? I will keep your secret. I'm good at keeping secrets. Yeah, maybe. They just I hope they have some sort of side relationship. That'd be good. That's it. Good episode. Curious to see where we're going next episode. So with that all being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Merlin reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.